Embrace the phase of life that you're in right now to make it to the next phase of life that you want to be in. Hi, my name is Leah Chantel. Welcome to my channel, and today I'm talking about embracing whatever phase of life you're in now to get you to the next phase of life. So what we tend to do when we're obsessed with our next phase of life, let's say we're hoping to get married or have children, in those moments when we're single and we don't have a partner, we may obsess about that, but then actually miss the joys and happiness of being single. There are a lot of them. And I recommend that if you want to have a happy relationship, that you really enjoy your own company and enjoy the phase of life that you're in now, rather than obsess about the partner. And then the partner may take care of itself, and you may run into somebody naturally when you're experiencing the joy of your life in a really profound way as a single person. So each phase of life has its own joys. For example, we just passed Christmas and New Year's, and a lot of people could complain about the season because it's winter, it's cold, it's not so easy to go outside and hike. Having said that, Christmas is an amazing time of year where you get to be with your friends and family. You get to celebrate and start something new because you have a new year and new goals to set. And when you give yourself the space to do that and enjoy the season, it actually becomes completely magical. I had a most amazing Christmas and New Year's this year. I just embraced where I was at in the season I was in, and I didn't worry about the future, and it was beautiful. It was amazing. And I think the reason why I didn't feel happy sometimes in my past when I was younger was because I was always obsessed with getting to the next place. I was obsessed with finishing my university degrees or getting my first permanent job. And then after that, it was like getting the next better job that was worth more money. And then it was moving back and forth to different places. I ended up living in different places to progress in my career. And then things got complicated because I missed the places I had previously lived. And I even went as far as New Zealand to progress and continue to build my career. And that was absolutely amazing because I got the chance to experience living like a nomad and living this really beautiful life internationally, and yet still working towards my goals, dreams, and ambitions, working on projects that were important to me. I had a job in social media, and that was something I wanted to learn more about. And then I ended up working in tourism for a movie site, which was slightly off track, but then ended up being helpful because later I started my own YouTube channel. So learning about the film industry and working a little bit in a related tourism site actually was very helpful. It helped me develop my skills in customer service and interacting with people from all over the world. And it also made me more aware of what it was like to actually work in the film industry and be on camera. And that was an incredibly valuable experience. But aside from that, in my spare time, in that season when I was living in New Zealand, I could just drive 2 hours anywhere to go visit a beautiful place. I could go hiking in mountains or on a volcano or on the beach, a black beach, sand dunes. There were just so many amazing places I could go visit that were a stone's throw away. And it's very temperate throughout the year, so you don't get the extreme cold season as much that you do in Canada. Like, it does get rainy, but then even then you can really go out and see places if you really want to, and you're really okay with dealing with the rain. Having said that, I'm now embracing the season that I'm in now in my life in Canada. I've achieved more independence than I have in the past. Well, actually, I've achieved independence a couple of times before in Canada in different provinces, but now I've achieved it in a more expensive province, and so I'm very pleased about that. And I've really connected with some amazing friends and family. I've got a wonderful partner in my life. And so I'm really just savoring and enjoying the phase of life that I'm in now. However, it is very different from the previous phases of my life. I also savored being single and exploring New Zealand and having a great time. I also really savored living in Alberta and seeing the mountains and going to Banff on a regular basis, a semi-regular basis, and just being able to commune with nature. And now my life is so different, but it's also amazing because I've got some really incredible people in my life that I felt I was missing before when I was living in the other places. I was really longing for some really close soul family and good partners and great friends. And I feel that while I had those in some of those places, and there's some really awesome people in my life, I've really created that long term in a sustainable way for myself now in my life in Ontario. And my point is, even if you're in a very difficult season of your life, and I've been through them, I've had to move, sometimes the economy went down in a certain place in my country, and then I had to move to another country to keep going in my career and keep working and not go unemployed. Those phases were difficult, and sometimes I moved very far away from my family. And even in those places, I embraced the beauty of what was around me. I embraced the moment that I was there as a really special, unique moment in these different places that I got to see in my life. And if you're able to do that in your life, see your life as tourism almost, like you're in this really unique place, even when it's bad, and you have to turn it around. Do you know what a compelling story that is? When you lose everything and you have to turn it around. I've done that before, a couple of times actually, between provinces, between countries. And then it creates this amazing, compelling story. And I'm still continuing to work on multiple books that I want to write about my life, because I feel so blessed to have all these amazing, compelling stories, overcoming difficult health conditions like irritable bowel syndrome and Guillain-Barré syndrome and all these cool things that ended up turning into these crazy positive health habits that I now have that I don't think a lot of people know about or appreciate. And it all came from being appreciative of whatever I had, even if it was challenges, even if it was muscle cramps and being in a lot of pain, and overcoming that, even losing relationships during those times of hardship. When I was having trouble with my health, I ended up meeting the right people down the line that were right for me and who were amazing. So each phase of your life, if you're willing to embrace it and not try to escape, not try to complain, it's your building block that leads you to the next phase, that leads you to the next group of people that you're meant to meet. And you have to embrace it. When you really embrace it and you really almost love it and hug it wholeheartedly, then you're going to make it to the next phase that's even better. Having said that, it's hard to get out of the last phase if you're constantly complaining about it or constantly looking at the past, like how much better it was, or comparing or complaining about other people. Sometimes when we go through difficult things in life, the people around us we associate as negative, but actually they may have not done anything that wrong. We may be being really hard on them in our viewpoint because there are negative things going on around us. And so the people closest to us, because we're in a negative state, actually experience that transference. It's like I keep seeing this same person every day when this difficult event is going on in my life. And therefore, I suddenly start to get angry at that person or feel negative towards that person when it's really my life that has some other troubles going on. And when you get into that phase, it can be hard to break out of it. You constantly see the people around you as negative. They could be in your family, they could be your partner, they could be your friends. And when you get into that mindset, you need to kind of relax and realize that maybe it's your own negative thinking and your negative filters that are causing you to see that person in a negative light, in a suspicious light. Maybe the person who didn't respond back to you and you don't know why, maybe they have something going on in their life. Maybe they're really troubled and somebody's died and they haven't been in the right space to tell you yet that that's going on. I'm not saying you should excuse bad behavior. You should definitely have boundaries and be cautious when people are not behaving the way they're supposed to be, and don't chase after them. But having said that, you can forgive them because maybe you can't see the whole picture. Forgiveness doesn't necessarily mean let them back into your life and do whatever they want, but what it does mean is you don't think negatively and you're at peace in your own mind, in your own spirit. And that's very important, to have that inner peace and that gratitude, and to not project your negative emotions onto others or get caught up in the past or even the negative circumstances of your present. Focus on whatever good things are happening, even when you have to move or things are difficult because of financial circumstances. Maybe they put you in a place that you never would have thought you would have been before when you were more affluent. Maybe you saw the world differently, or you became more efficient with your resources, and you became smarter and tougher as a result of these challenges you faced in your life. And maybe that just gives you that much more willpower and firepower to grow stronger and become more successful in your life. That's why you should never wish away any phase of your life, no matter how difficult it actually appears. There is something amazing in it and something to be grateful for. And if you can find that, then your life is going to grow and develop into the next beautiful, amazing phase that you're destined for. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm curious to know what kind of phases you're in your life right now, and where are you hoping to go, and how are you embracing the moment and having gratitude for where you are today. That would be really cool to see that feedback. I hope you're all having an amazing week, and take care. Bye now.